So here we go again. So hello YouTube, good evening, hello everyone. My name is Victoria. I've been a host here on Talk and Talk for over 3 years. I currently live in Florianopolis, but I'm from the most beautiful city in the country, like Jefferson likes to say, Goiânia. I live here with my dog. Her name is Lola. She's 4. And on my free time, I love being here on Talk and Talk, talking to you guys, take my dog for a walk on the beach. And I've been loving to play sports like rollerblading, riding my bike, swimming, beach tennis, volleyball. This year, I found myself very open to learn new sports, and I've been very happy with it. What about you, Jefferson?
I'm Jefferson. I'm living in the most beautiful cities in in Brazil because I'm very beautiful and Vicky too is very beautiful. I'm handsome, you're very beautiful. I'm just kidding. I live in Goiânia, Goiás, where the heart beats so strong. I'm economist. I'm professor from Catholic University of Goiás. I love to play canastra with my friends, drink a beer, listen good music, and talk about a lot of things. I love to go to the gym. I used to go 3 times a week. I love to do Pilates twice a week. And I love to play soccer with my friends. Young like me, I have the best team of Brazil called Sucatão that I appreciate a lot, especially after the games that we have a resenha when we drink beer a lot. And thank you for having me.
Thanks again for being here, Jefferson. Always very nice talking to you. Good evening, Marcelo.
Good evening, guys.
How are you? I missed you last week.
Yeah, a lot of work here, and sometimes I don't have time to enter. And well, that's it. That's life.
So we were just introducing ourselves. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, of course. Good evening, everybody. My name is Marcelo. I live in Rio. I am 65. I am an entrepreneur. I do a lot of things. I have a lot of works here. I work by myself with uh, my sons. Both they have their own businesses also. I am married. I like to do a lot of things like besides working. I like to play the drums. I like to watch YouTube videos as everybody, and I also work as an actor. I returned to the dubbing industry since 2023. I stay away from that business for 28 years, and I've returned. And it's for me nowadays like a hobby, just for helping my mood, and that's it. That's a little bit about me.
So you're an actor.
Yeah, I'm an actor.
Wow, that's
Also,
very nice.
also,
Very
also, I've
interesting.
been I've been in the dubbing industry for so many years. I've worked. I've entered in 1985. You can imagine, and I've lived in the beginning of the the year, I think 1999, and I returned in some works. Like small participations, but I've worked like an employee of the market. I've worked at Herbert Issues. You probably you've heard about that company. It was one of the biggest one in Brazil. And then suddenly in 2023, I decided to return to the industry because I've been, I well, uh, I've met a lot of ex-students. We had a dubbing course in Rio that was so famous, and I have a lot of ex-students, and they now they call me to participate in some productions, some movies and cartoons, and that's another kind of job. It's not a job. It's like for leisure. It's a nice thing.
Oh, that's
And
very nice.
yeah,
Sorry, you were saying?
no, that's it. It's something so interesting. And I've studied theater, one of my universities, and then I've entered that kind of work. And then I had to leave because I had other projects. So in the past, it was so difficult to stay in this industry without being an employee. You had to stay for so many hours during the day, and it was impossible for me to reach other goals and other projects, and that's why I stay away from things. But nowadays it's different. I have more time. The system is different now because you dub alone. In the past, you used to dub. Everybody was in the same studio together because we had poor technical systems, like only two channels to dub, and everybody had to stay together, and that's why they it took so many time to dub, and then nowadays no, you can dub alone because you have so many channels. It's a naive computer system now. It's so different. You are alone in the studio and you do your part, and you don't meet the other actor, so you can hear
Yeah.
the voice uh, he made, but you don't act with another person at the bench. That's
Yeah,
it.
a lot has changed through the years. And that's very interesting. I love talking to you guys because I always end up discovering new stuff, new interesting stuff about you. Very nice. Thanks for sharing, Marcelo. So, Eduino, how about you?
Yeah, guys, I'm Eduino. I'm 30 years old. I was born and raised in Luanda, capital city in Angola. Since 2014, I have been living in Rio Grande do Sul. My city is called São Leopoldo. It's 30 minutes away to Porto Alegre, capital. I graduated in cartography engineer, but I never worked with. My passion always was software engineer. For that reason, I'm working as a software engineer for more than 5 years. Actually, I'm working remotely to a company in São Paulo. And yeah, in my free time, I love listening music, stay in my home, reading book, sometimes going out with my friends. Yes, nice to meet you all, guys.
Thank you, Eduino. Thank you. So, thank you guys for introducing yourselves. Then we're gonna begin with the questions now. So, question number one, let's go with you, Jefferson. So, do you consider yourself an open or a private person?
I think it depends. I'm more private when I talk about myself. I don't like to reveal my sentiments. I don't appreciate this. I don't talk to other guys about my family and a lot of stuff. But I'm very open when I used to talk about, for example, as economist, to talk about the Brazilian economy. I used to read a lot. I have my own opinions. about the economic problems, about the business plan, about finance, investment, and this kind of thing. So in this case, I'm very open to discuss, and I appreciate a lot when I discuss with somebody have something to say. And I don't like the guys that use tell something it's not profound, kind of nonsense about something that I used to read a lot.
I totally agree with you, Jefferson, really, because about my life, my private life, I am a very private person. I don't like sharing a lot of details about my life. Sometimes it's difficult even with close people like my friends, but about subjects that interests me, like you interested about economics, I really like to talk about and to discuss, like you said, with people who have what to say and interesting things to say and something to add in your life, like you learn a new information in a conversation, you learn new stuff about acting, for example, talking with my Marcelo, or software engineering, talking with Eduino. I love to hear what people have to say about the things that they love. I think it's very beautiful. How about you, Eduino?
Yeah, I'm very similar to Jefferson. I'm mix of both. I like sharing my thoughts, my experience with people I trust. But I don't open up very quickly to everyone. I think that before I share something very personal, I usually need time to feel safe and comfortable. I believe that it's important to protect our emotions and our feelings, and choose right people and right moment to share your thoughts, your innermost thoughts, yeah, I love to share, but with people I trust. I can open, I can be open, but only when I feel the moment, the person are right. Yeah, I can share.
Yeah, it's much easier to share when we feel that the person is also open to hear what we have to say. Because sometimes we want to talk, but we can tell that the other person is not interested in what we have to say. And that can happen in personal relationships or even at work, which turns out to be very difficult to work with person who don't want to hear what we need to say. So, what about you, Marcelo? Are you an open or a private person?
Depends on the subject. Uh, about my life, I think it's a little bit. I think about privacy because I don't think that we have to show everything we do. People don't understand when you start to talk about you. It's so difficult. As I have a lot of professions say that it's so difficult for you to open your heart when you say that you are able to do a lot of things because they are so they are medium. People are medium sized. They are not at high levels, and they don't understand when you have a lot of tasks to do and a lot of skills, and they feel that you are being like I don't know, proud of yourself, and you are not well, a person that is a normal person. Let me say that. And well, that's the reason I don't publish my personal life on social media. In this dubbing career, sometimes I have to publish something because they want to to know. We have a lot of fan dubs. That's the name. And sometimes I do one week I give interviews, and sometimes it's necessary just for your career, and they look for you and they want to know something about the profession. But in general, I don't show my personal life, like my family, my sons. And I don't publish everything. People are so crazy. They publish every minute of their lives. Like, I am eating this, I am doing that, I am seeing that. Well, come on, I don't think it's a good thing. And I am an open person when I think about jobs or works or what I am interested in. I think that I can communicate and I am an open person. But when I have to talk about myself, it's so different. I think it's normal for everybody.
So I believe you're more open to talk about when it's about a subject in specific and not about yourself, right?
Yeah, that's it. To say something about myself, it's so annoying. I don't like that. No.
Yeah, I
That's
understand. I understand you.
uh,
So, talking about personal stories and stuff, let's go to question number 10, Eduino. What does vulnerability mean to you?
Yeah, very good question. Well, vulnerability means being honest about your feelings, even when you are secret of being judged, is to have a courage to expose yourself about something very secret, or your fear, your doubts, your hopes, for example. Yeah. But I think that vulnerability, it doesn't mean weakness. Yeah. When you expose yourself, sometimes you are being just honest. Yes. You are showing that you have strength enough to rely, to trust in another person, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good way to create a deeper connection with other person. When you share, when you open your heart and tell about something very personal in your life to other, yeah, you can establish very good connection with others. Yes. Allow others to understand you better. Yeah. And yeah, it's one of the most human things that we can share. But sometimes we need to be careful about that, pay close attention to what person we want to share. But vulnerability itself doesn't mean weakness. Yeah.
Very nice, very interesting. Yeah, it's pretty important for us to pay a lot of attention on who we're sharing with and what we're sharing, because it doesn't always mean that the person who's listening is with good intentions with us. And sometimes we share informations about our lives that for us it's like a normal thing, an okay thing, but the person later can. It's pretty crazy to think about that, but sometimes people use the information you gave them to turn the situation around you, and that's crazy. But yeah, I also believe that vulnerability is a great way to create deeper connections, and it's very important. So, Jefferson, do you agree with Edwino? What do you think?
I agree with everything that he told. Everything. I
It's
sign.
hard to say something about that after he said. Very hard to
Yeah,
compliment.
yeah, it's very. But I think vulnerability means to be when you lose your emotion, when you increase your risk about something that you say or something that you doing. You doing talk about honesty. For example, I don't like when I talk with somebody and I try to be honest, but the other part is not honest. This is not so good. This exposed me to a bad situation, and I have a lot of problem with this kind of thing. I don't appreciate that kind of thing. I didn't don't appreciate this kind of thing. So just to finish, I think vulnerability means to about to trust. You must to trust, to believe that the other person is a good guy. And I most of the time I used to do this. I'm talk here. I I hope that Vicky, you doing and Marcelo are good guys that I can talk open my heart to talk about a lot of subject. But sometimes not so easy. Sometimes you open, you have vulnerability when you sometimes when lose control. Control about the talk. In this case is not so good. I had some cases, not now, but I think 4 years ago, when discuss about Lula and Bolsonaro. Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you too, Jefferson, because it's not only also showing our weaknesses, but we also have to believe that the other person is a good person and is open to hearing what you have to say. And also, I believe that is when we show our intentions more in a more clear way. We're being vulnerable when we're showing what we intend with a conversation or with an action. And yeah, that's very important, not only about personal life, but also when we share our plans, talking with coworkers or maybe in a job interview, because when they talk to you, oh, where do you see yourself in 10 years from now on? You have to be a little strategic, but a little vulnerable also to show between what you want for your career and what the interviewer wants to hear, like, oh, I want to plan a career here in this company and I'll be valuable for you in that and that way. So yeah, we have to be vulnerable in different kinds of situations in our lives. Marcelo, and
I
you?
remember just a second. I remember a student talk about this and he answered, I wanted to be in your place. I wanted to take your job. I want to
Very
be the
bold, very
CEO,
bold.
the boss, the CEO of your company.
Yeah, right. If the person they're talking to you, they want to know if you want to still be working in the company. So if you want to be a CEO, that's a good plan. It doesn't mean that the person will arrive that after 10 years or so, but yeah, very nice, very brave. I loved it. Marcel, what about you? What does vulnerability means in every aspect of life?
I'm not sure. I don't feel this kind of vulnerability. I am so. I am. I have this kind of self way to do something. As I've always worked alone without partners. It's you create like a approach that you can use that to protect you. I can make an analogy with computing. It's like giving your password to another person. So sometimes you can state few protections into your personal life. It's like your computer. Then you have when you said about vulnerability, my mind was clear with a computing system, a banking system, and they have to protect the system. And nowadays, when if you Google vulnerability, you are going to see companies that can turn your system safer. And I think it's the same as for humans, because we have our outputs, we have what to say, what to write, and we have our inputs, what we hear and taste and look, and we can process. The computer is the same as a human being in certain way. It's less subjective, of course. It would be crazy if the computer could have so many answers. But it's like that. I think we have to be we have to take care of our passwords. That's what we can say about this analogy, because sometimes you say everything to the person. You don't know what's inside that guy, and sometimes it can be dangerous. So it hurts when you see that the other person was only interested in harming you, or having the best part of you. We have to take care. But I can, as I lived so many years, it's like Jefferson. We can create this kind of trust that we can feel. We can sometimes we are wrong, but most of the times we can be sure about the other person. We can feel that, right? It's like another sense that we can develop. But it's important. We have a lot of people that they are not so safe. They are not so they about self-esteem, and they have to take care, because sometimes they suffer, and people they can harm that's kind of vulnerable persons, of course.
Yeah, that's it. We have to take care about our passwords. And yeah, complementing what you said, even in our jobs, in our daily lives, we pass through difficult situations sometimes, and we try to sometimes share a situation with a colleague to talk about what happened, or maybe a colleague has more experience in some field, and you try to uh, talk and get some knowledge on how to deal something. And sometimes a personal friend, maybe, or a trusted colleague, you share a situation and the person shows that they're not so trustful as you thought they were. So we have to be very careful who we share our things, especially not in everything, our personal and our work lives. It's very hard when somebody uses the information in a bad way. So there must be something, Marcelo. What makes a story too personal to tell about yourself? For example, you say, oh, I will never tell the story for somebody I just met, or even a close friend. Do you have one specific thing? Because you said it's when you think about vulnerability, you think about programs and work and stuff like that. But in personal life, what makes it too personal to tell?
I don't know. I I am a little bit objective in my life. I am a little bit cold. Of course, I have feelings. I cry a lot. It's like when I watch uh, an advertising of margarine, I can cry. But that's different. That's different. Uh, well, I can be a little bit objective, and I don't open what I think to everybody. Although my wife say that I talk a lot, I am so talkative, and I cannot tell you something because you're going to tell everybody. You can't keep secrets. No, no. Well, I don't keep secrets. If it's a secret, you you wouldn't tell me that because I am going to spread that secret. But I am aware of what I say to among my clients, for instance. Well, I am a lawyer, and as a lawyer, I cannot say that I am an actor. They don't understand. It's so difficult for people. They don't understand that you can do more than one thing. And that's something that I am so aware because I don't tell everybody my other jobs or my other occupation. When of course, as an actor, I can say that I am a lawyer also. But when I with the clients, I don't talk about this other part of my life that I am a musician. I play the drums. I've been in a band. No, they don't understand. People they are so major. That's the question. So when you open your heart to say everything you do, your tasks, your skills, they don't understand, and they start to think, well, that guy, I think he's in doubt about what he's going to do. He doesn't know what is what he wants to do. I don't know if he is a real good lawyer because he is also an actor. Oh, come on. Probably no. No, that's a question because most of the people, they sleep. They play video games. They lose a lot of time doing a lot of bullshit. And I like to study. That's different. So you have to take care. You don't have to open when you do. You are an entrepreneur also, so you have to take care when you are talking about insurance. That's your business. You don't have to say that you because they don't understand. They have to know that you are the best.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
best
That's true.
person in insurance. That's all.
Especially about work, people tend to they tend to think that we have to be 100% a specialist in some kind of subject, and we can't get interesting in anything else, or else we'll be not so good in that first thing. For example, when I tell people I work with insurance and I have my business and stuff, I don't talk about many other stuff, like you say. I don't tell I'm an actor, I'm a musician, and stuff like that, because if you say that, people think, oh, he wastes a lot of time acting or playing the drums and he's not so focused on being a lawyer. And that's not true. Like you said, people have other hobbies, and sometimes you like other stuff, and you can work with other stuff also and be good in multiple stuff, not only one. You can be a specialist in one thing, and you also can be good in other stuff. And some people don't understand that. That's true. So, Jefferson, I got another question for you that I want to hear. Do you have a story from your past that shaped who you are, that you can remember easily?
Story. I have a lot of stories. A lot of stories. Okay, I will talk a funny story. It's time to relax because I have class later. I'm prepared to class now.
Have class
I
today.
yeah, today I have class. I teach all the nights. Okay, until 10 p.m.
Wow.
But I remember when I was 15, 15, I used to play soccer a lot, play soccer a lot with my friends. And then one day, my father asked for my friends, what about Jefferson? Jefferson will be like Pelé? And the guy said, no. And for them on, my father told me, stop playing soccer and go to study. And I never stopped studying. I study, and stop playing soccer. Stop too much because I was a very poor guy. I need to be succeed with education. And now I'm a professor, I have doctorate and so on. And I remember all of this. And when I was doing my undergraduate course here in PUC Goiás in economics, I remember, and I told to my father, now it's time to return to play soccer again. Can I play now? And he told, no, it's okay. No problem. Go on. And I
So
play
that's why
until
you took
now.
back.
I'm
That's why you took back
67.
your dream to Sucatão.
Yeah, I'm 67 and play until now. I never stop. But it's important to, I think sports, it's very important for our life, for mental health. It's not just to work, to earn money, and so on.
So I got your father had an interesting point in his head because I believe that he thought, okay, maybe he's going to be a very good, a professional soccer player. If he's not, then study, go to school, have a graduation. But yeah, it turned out very fine because now you're like a doctor and also you're a professional player of Sucatão. Right? Very nice. So,
I got it.
Iduino,
I got it. Yeah.
Iduino, do you have any stories that to share that shaped you? It was something in your childhood, your teenage years.
Yeah, yeah, it's very common. There was a time when I failed in something that I really wanted. Yeah, and at the first I felt disappointed, but along the way, that experience taught me that it's very important to have resilience and be patient. Uh, yes, and setback sometimes it means growth. Yeah. People say, there's a quote that says that sometimes when you lose, you are gain. Yeah, there is a time, a specific time to things happen in your life. Yeah, and that moment helped me to become more patient and understand that improvement take times. Yeah, it's not good to have a willing to acquire everything at the same time. We need to be patient to expect the things. Yeah, I'm referring to a moment when I wanted really some jobs, but I felt and I didn't pass to that job position. But finally, it was good because I end up get other job really very well more than before. Yes, that things happen every moment in our life. Yeah, when we feel disappointed, but when we sit and think very careful, we realize that maybe it was not always good that we thought before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Improvement takes time and sometimes a lot of time, and we have to understand and be patient about it because failure always teaches us a lot. And sometimes we have to keep resilient and keep trying, keep going on, trying to get it. But sometimes it's important for us to think that maybe we should adjust our plan. We should adjust the goal, the route, and or try in a different way because it's not always that we want something that we will end up getting anyway. Maybe it's important for us. It happened with me sometimes in life, even about my career. I was going through a path where I studied computer science in college and I worked with it for a while and I loved it, but my life kept pushing me for a different way. And I was always upset thinking about, oh, I'm failing to do what I want. But when I looked in the other possibility, the other way, I saw that I could also like other stuff and work with something else and be good at it, be really good at it and study and be happy with what I do. Because today I'm very satisfied with my job, my career, and it's different from what I thought a few years ago. And I had to adjust the plan. Sometimes that's life what's about. So let's go to one more question. Number 8, Marcelo. What's something that people often misunderstand about you?
They don't understand me. I don't try
At all. They don't understand at
at
all.
all. Come on. I try, but they don't.
So they misunderstand everything.
Look, I don't intend that people uh, were able to understand me. I am not this kind of person that look for um, a good opinion or to approve my my behavior or be approved or like or dislike. I don't like that. I don't like that. I know that people are not interested in me. Of course not. They have their problems. They sometimes people are so dumb to wait approval from person that they are not important. It's not important. But nowadays, I think people they became depressive when they don't have, they receive likes over the social media. They don't receive approvals, and you post something, and no, nobody is like that. No, come on. Well, I don't what something people. I think everything they are not able to understand why they don't know me. Nobody is interested in you. I don't think so. I think only your parents, your family, your sister, your real friends, they are interested in you and are able to understand you and know what's going on. Um, uh, People are so superficial today. They don't want to enter into your problem. When you start to say something, when you start to say a problem to a person, come on, probably the person is going to hide from you. And no one is interested in problems. They are interested in good life and good moments. And only a good mood. And I don't think that people understand me and what something. No, I think everything. They don't understand me. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
So I believe that everything nowadays happens so fast, and all the information that we get and the stuff that happens in our daily lives, in our personal and work lives, and there's always too many options. And when we talk specific to person that we don't have too much intimacy, but we do have we see people every day, like coworkers or some people where you cross by every day. They don't have the, I guess, time and patience to get deeper conversations. And sometimes it doesn't mean that deeper conversations you have to say about, oh, your deepest secrets or your biggest problems, but deeper conversations where you can actually talk about not about you, but deeper stuff, and you have more complex thoughts and develop a real conversation. Let's talk about politics, like Jefferson said, for example, or economics. You can't talk about this stuff in like a superficial level. For you to have a real conversation about that, you have to have a background to understand stuff that happens, and by the backgrounds and the facts, informations, then you have your opinion about stuff. And people, they don't have much patience. They just want to like solve everything so fast, but I don't think things are need to be solved all the time. Sometimes we have the point only to discuss and show different points of view, and that's it. Not only, oh, right or wrong, or yes or no. That's the point.
Yeah. Uh, here comes that girl with that papo cabeça. Come on.
Yeah, that's it. So, what about you, Jefferson? Do you have
I'm,
something that people often misunderstand about you?
I'm gonna tell another story. I'm a storytelling all the
I
time.
love it.
For example, 2 hours early, I was talking about news. Today we have a lot of news about Banco Central and IBGE. And I was in a meeting discussing all about this news and put my opinion. I used to talk too much about this because I love to read and to talk about economics, about the Brazilian economics. And it's okay. And when I just finish the meeting, the discussion, I found another professor that asked for me, what do you think about Lula's son? He go to prison. And I put in silence, indifferent, because I don't like to talk about this. And he can misunderstand me all the time. He used to say, why you don't like to talk about this? And I used to say, nothing, nothing, just to be indifferent. I don't like to talk about this. I don't care if go to prison or not go to prison. Bolsonaro go to prison or not go to prison. I don't like to talk about this. I like to talk about other things. I like to talk about music, about soccer, games, and economics, and so on. And sometimes it's not this case, but I have a lot of friends here, professor, that can misunderstand my silence, my indifference about some subject.
Very interesting and very nice. It's a way to think that we don't always have to talk about what people want or what people ask you, or like there's a table of people talking about a meeting, people are talking about the subject. And if you don't want to share your thoughts, and if it doesn't got you interesting, that's okay to keep silence. And that's something rare, Jefferson, because people always have always it's too strong, but most of the times people have a lot to say about things they don't understand, especially, and about things that is not their business or specialty or something, but people like to have an opinion about everything. And you don't have to, it's not necessarily important to have an opinion about each topic in the world. Sometimes it's better to keep silence. It's better to say nothing than say something stupid, right? So, what about you, Eduino?
Yeah, very interesting. In my case, let me see. I'm a quiet person. And I think that sometimes people think that I'm a quiet person because I'm shy or not interested, but it's not totally true because sometimes I'm just observing or try to understand before open up, before jumping, before share my thoughts, my opinion. Yeah, once I feel comfortable, yeah, I communicate normally, even I talk a lot. Yeah, I like to take my time before open up my mind, my feelings. But some people think it means that I'm distant, but yeah, I'm really just cautious with new people. Yeah, when I am knowing new people, yeah, I take my time to just observing, to know people. Yeah, once I feel comfortable and safe, yeah, I share my opinion. For example, here we are in the safe environment. Yeah, when we can share openly our opinion, our thoughts. Yeah, that depends on the context, on the situation, and the people when we are interchange the opinion. Yeah.
I was muted.
Yeah.
So, about what you said of sharing your opinion and here being a safe place, I also feel that here's a very safe place for us to share an opinion. And I don't really know if it's because here is a nice place for us or because if besides that, if it's remotely, because it's not in person. Because sometimes in person it's easier for us to see situations where we're talking about the same topic here, but sometimes people get overwhelmed on disagreeing and talking about one opinion and the other without necessity, because like I said before, sometimes we just, the point here is just to share our different point of views, and that's it, not convince you or you to convince me that somebody's right, somebody's wrong. For me it's right something, for Jefferson it's another thing, and that's okay. I heard his truth and mine can be another truth, and that's it. It doesn't matter, we don't have to convince each other for that. And do you know, I'm also similar to that in the way where I like to take my time when I'm in a new environment, because I like to feel that I have something interesting to share before jumping in a conversation, besides just talking randomly without adding something interesting to the group or to a conversation with the people. So that's it. Anybody wants to share one more thing about the topic we've been discussing? No? Okay. So guys, we're 2 minutes to go. I'm sending the link for you. Oh, we don't have link tonight. I guess the survey link is going to your email accounts to rate the immersion and to write the suggestions. And that's it for now. I hope to see you next week. I had a lot of fun with you guys. Love talking to you and listening to new stuff, like learning that Marcelo is always is also an actor. That's very interesting because he barely talks about his personal life. He talks more about his professional life and his 15 job positions, 15 companies.
I just remember Marcelo Madureira.
No, nobody's perfect.
No, I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing, Marcelo. Jefferson and Duino, I love talking to you guys. Thanks. Have a great night